Okay, there we go.
So
The blind confidence.
Very confident.
All right, well, let's find out if he's going to have to eat those words or if he'll be able to boast about it. Right into the pick and ban here. Echo GP taken away by CJ. So a lot of attention being paid to this top lane here. This has been two of the biggest picks for Roach so far. Shen, the third one, really coming through. Not sure if CJ wants to do a full triple ban on the top lane, but we'll find out. On the other side, Twisted Fate taken away from BDD, and Karma as well banned out.
So the Echo doesn't surprise me. Roach did play Echo in all 4 games of the finals. He also does, as you say, have some GP games. Also Shy, not a great GP player. Overall, they are also going to remove the Malzahar from the pool. I think you do have to take away the Gnar, otherwise Shy probably will first pick it. If you're okay with the first pick Gnar, I would not be with Echo and GP gone.
We'll see where they want to go. Of course, if they ban the Gnar, it could just take the Shen. Will be Gnar banned away. So now Shy coming back into this. We'll see where he wants to go.
Really, Shy has probably been most impressive on Trundle and Gnar, so I think the Taliyah definitely going to be the first pick here.
That's true,
They don't want to first pick the Shen when the Trundle can be taken away, and ideally they would counter pick a Shen with a Trundle.
This is a bit of a takeaway as well from Edge, who has played Taliyah in his recent matches in the Challenger Series, so would have been a comfortable pickup for him, but now we could see he was banned away all the time from Flawless in that first best of 3. The Lee Sin open and punch already going to be hovering this one. Hasn't been one of his biggest played champions. Been really all about the Rex side, the Nidalee and the Elise, but could go off the beaten path and go for a Gragas.
I mean, Roach has played some Aurelia games. We have not seen much Aurelia in Korea. You definitely take the Trundle here, though. That is the obvious pickup. You're on red side. You can flex it. You need to take it away to prevent the Shen pickup. Ideally, if you're Kongdoo, you take both Shen and the Trundle, and you last round of the draft on red side, the Shen pickup.
Seems like they want to see where they want to assign that Trundle to, as Cougar has been playing it as the supporting role. So they'll just snatch that up for themselves. Now, looking like we might just have the Jhin pickup coming in for Kramer already. He's had some success on this champion.
He's played 0 games of it in the summer season.
I'm thinking about it spring.
Yeah, it's been a while. It really hasn't been preferential for him. We've seen Twitch games and Callista games much more frequently in the summer out of Kramer, even that one Jinx game that we referred to earlier.
Yeah, that one didn't go well. That was pretty bad, but it will be locked up as well as the Shen in the top lane. So Kongdoo, they very well could just keep that Trundle in top for Roach.
Yep.
No need to flex it anymore, and all of the primary threats have been assigned here from the side of CJ, so just going to be looking for their jungle and their support as they move forward. Grog is still available for Haru. Could see that come through. Hecarim has been another one that he picks up, but with a lot more on the table going into this Rex side. See what he wants to do. Lissandra and Braum going to be taken for the side of Kongdoo Monster.
Interesting that they're waiting so long here to select an AD carry, but they already know the solo lanes, and they want to see exactly what the support's going to be. Mad Life not going to have the Braum, which has been his default pick this season. Bard and Nami, his next 2 most picked. He actually has not played a game on Tahm Kench this season. This will be a new pickup for him, but lots of synergy with the Jhin, able to peel very effectively. And of course, the Taliyah Jhin combination, is really quite good. You can just like shooting fish in a barrel, throw the Weaver's Wall behind them, zone people off the turrets, or keep them in front of the turret where they can easily be curtain called and forced backwards.
You know, I get the feeling that shooting a fish in a barrel is probably a lot harder than it sounds. Unless you have like a shotgun
It's definitely a shotgun.
with a wide spread.
Yep.
So if you take like a 22 rifle into that, it's just good luck. You're not going to get anything. But all right, well, Tahm Kench and Gragas will get locked up here for CJ. And now might be the Ashe. They have that Braum shield coming in to block the bullets. You can just use the Gen Crystalline Arrow to try to lock down Kramer and stop the curtain call from coming through. But playing around with some of their options, Ezreal has been a very big pick as of late for Soul. Not so much the Sivir, but the Ashe and the Ezreal have been really big ones for him.
Yeah, I think that it really does change the nature of the composition pretty severely, whether you take the Ashe, which would make it more of a pick composition, or the Ezreal and the Sivir, which are going to do a lot more damage in the late game, and sort of compensate for the deficiencies in damage that Lissandra's going to have, because by late game, once you get the Zhonya's Hourglass and people start getting QSSs, Lissandra is typically used just to self-ult and Zhonya's and to be a frontliner, basically, and prevent people from getting onto the Sivir, so Sivir can maximize the damage. That's what we're going to see, so a pretty well-balanced composition. Kongdoo should be able to create picks and play well into the late game around the Sivir and Lissandra. Lots of movement speed, lots of single-target CC, and they will always be able to split with this Trundle against the Shen, so Shy is going to have to be pretty convincing in this game, as the later this goes, the weaker he will become relative to the Trundle once that Subjugate ultimate goes down. So it's going to be about the mid game here for CJ. They need to make the Weaver's Wall work, they need to land the curtain call shots, and they need to use the Stand United to dive some turrets.
Well, with BDD coming in on the Taliyah, be damn sure there's going to be a lot of global plays coming in. So, as you mentioned, you can just cut people off with that Weaver's Wall, lock them down with the curtain call, and have Stand United coming in as well to just continuously chain CC together, keep Kongdoo locked down and burn them out. We'll see if CJ's able to pull it out. Let's go ahead and get right onto the Rift. Our second best of 3 of the day, CJ Entus versus Kongdoo Monster.
사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Another Mountain Drake will be starting us off. Here, both teams having pretty good turnout. CJ, of course, a legacy team in the LCK. Has a lot of fans turning out to show their support and just channel their energy and try to have them maintain their spot here. Because CJ in the Challenger League seems like one of the darkest timelines.
Well,
in League of Legends.
I think if you've gone through a slow decline over the last 4 years, and things really have just looked progressively worse and worse and worse, maybe you deserve it, you're CJ. Maybe you do.
You can see all of the CJ cheerfuls coming out. Guro and Gorilla just enjoying some nacho chips in the audience.
Good stuff. Nice to see them here to support what's sort of the zombie of their old team, really. Yeah. More than anything else.
I mean, who would have thought you win the finals and you come out to the relegation match?
Well, they deserve a break, Kilios, before they start seriously boot camping for the World Championship. They will be going in as Korea's #1 seed.
I guess when you're sitting in the chairs of the audience, it's a lot less taxing than when you're sitting up here talking about the games. So they can enjoy it, but I like that photo that Gorilla tweeted afterwards. This is just his cat, like, surrounded by all of the flowers and the trophy that they got.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It's a good picture.
For now, well, with BDD on the team, I'm sure we can expect a bit more of a bloodthirsty mid lane compared to our first set.
I mean, BDD is so much better than Sky, it's ridiculous. The guy, everything really does revolve around him when he's playing the game. He keeps a very high kill participation percentage, constantly has his eye on the map, makes good plays into the side lanes, whether it's going to be on a champion like Twisted Fate, which of course was banned in this series, or more typically, I would say LeBlanc, the champion that he really goes big on.
Certainly one synonymous with his name, but Taliyah going to be coming out, and this was one of the picks that Sky had success on. He's going to go ahead and flash away immediately from that, but the flash forward gets the Ring of Frost down to the BDD, and he's going to go down for first blood. 3 minutes in, Edge finds that one for Kongdoo Monster, so despite the flash, still gets taken out, but now Haru arrives, finds an answering kill already, has the red buff to slow up punch, but still not able to find the damage punch, still has his flash available. A nice return kill coming through from Haru, Going to keep things nice and close here between these teams. Don't want Kongdoo getting any unnecessary leads. We'll take another look at this.
BDD did flash at the right time, but double flashes make sure that he is not going to be escaping from that one. Great return kill from Haru, however.
Came with like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, punishing that great body slam flash. Really did hit the flash right at the end of the body slam to get the knock up. So they are going to trade 1-for-1. BDD even gets an assist out of that, which is really nice for him in that mid lane.
Yeah, so that helps him out quite a bit. We can see Double Doran's going to be the start for both of these mid laners. Boots coming through for Edge, so he'll be able to skirt around that threaded volley a little bit more easily. But now up to the top lane comes Haru. He's looking for some more work to get done. Taunt comes through from the Shadow Dash. Roach is going to try to speed himself up, throws down the pillar, but he's really just cutting himself off. That's going to be a really bad flash by Roach. Another kill comes through, but now Haru getting popped up. He's going to go down as Edge arrives with the teleport. And just like that, we're going to go 1-for-1 yet again.
Yeah, you will take that trade. BDD going to get some pressure in the mid lane. They had to use teleport to get the even trade. Now, CJ does come out on top. Also Shy getting the kill, so has that advantage in a matchup that is going to be difficult for him in the late game, so gets a leg up in the early stages.
Just like how we went from like 12 kills or 10 kills in 30 minutes to 3 kills in 30 minutes is what it was, to now 4 kills in the first 5 minutes. So change of pace coming in here for match 2.
Punch and Haru striking out in the early parts of this game, and BDD definitely surprised there, considering that normally you don't see a 3-minute gank onto the mid lane with a Cassandra without ultimate trying to flash onto you. Especially when you have Cleanse. Very unusual.
Well, for now, bot lane going to be pretty stagnant, even across the board. 44 CS for these AD carries, 6 for the supports. Kramer going to try to get a little bit more with that grenade, but Uber will block it. Kramer's going to have to peel back as he's just a bit too low. So looks like he's going to recall, go for that serrated Dirk to start things off. And BDD, despite, I mean, the second kill came through from Edge in the top lane, but he's got nearly a 20 CS lead in mid now. And level 6.
Yeah, really substantial advantage. And that is partially due to the teleport. So everything going well. Haru executing a couple of nice ganks and counter ganks. Start this game off.
Punch will find that pink, but be all right. BDD just roaming his way back. Has some Cricket Wards available for now. Mad Life holding the way for Kramer as he does come back. Opted not into the serrated Dirk, but decided to get the boost of swiftness and a long sword. So wants to be able to evade those Winter's bites and the boomerang blades coming out from Sol and Guger in the bottom lane.
That's not a really awesome place to be, though, if you are Kramer. Just going to be trying to, as you say, dodge, as opposed to actually putting down damage with the trades.
Yeah, now Sol with the BF sword, he's going to be winning out in all of this unless Mad Life can do some serious work. So, going to be a bit of a rough time there for the Jhin and Vought. But if Kramer can stay safe and maintain CS alongside Sol, he will be able to catch up as he'll get that nice spike coming through off the Youmu's. So far, things slowing down a little bit there.
Yeah, Shy going Tiamat first. He really wants to pressure Roach and not give him any stats from his itemization based off of the ultimate, so it'll be a pretty interesting damage matchup in that top side. He already has 400 gold up, so he's trying to punish the Trundle as much as he possibly can.
Yeah, he'll be in a nice spot. Of course, Roach still a ways away from having that Tiamat of his own.
Yeah, the problem with going to Tiamat is it does make your Stand United pretty crap. Because if you try and go into the front line, let's say in the bottom side against the BF Sword Sivir, you will just melt. You will just melt.
Yeah. Well, you can expect him to probably go straight for that Sunfire Cape from this point forward, but if a fight should break out in that time, before you can at least get the Chain Fest, it could be pretty rough here for CJ. Haru will be able to take away this red buff. No real vision coming out from the side of CJ Entus around that dragon. Meanwhile, Kongdoo Monster, they have the bottom side of that river and even inside of the jungle lit up like a Christmas tree. You can see 2 pinks set up inside. That double ward there, Haru's going to find 1. But there's still plenty more to clear before he's safe. We'll find that second one. So now it's just a river vision there for Kongdoo, but still have all exits and entrances covered by those pings. Or he's going to go forward, gets the body slam in. He's going to knock punch back. BDD's here. Throws out the worked ground, but not going to be able to get much.
They got 2 pink wards for it.
Not the work ground, the E.
Yeah, the 2 pink wards going to be pretty valuable here for CJ. They took out 4 wards in 1 sweep. Nice roam up and managed to get the drop onto Punch. Punch has to back away without any discernible tankiness at this point in the game. Now, just more farming.
Unraveled Earth, that's what it is. All right.
It's very unraveled right before you. Just call it boulders, whatever.
So it's just these newfangled champion ability names. Too old to remember all this stuff.
Dude, just don't even bother remembering it. Just call them boulders.
There's some that I just refuse to say, like captive audience. Most of Jin's abilities that's
pretty
not
bad.
Like Deadly Flourish and Curtain Call are fine.
I like Root is a lot easier than Deadly Flourish.
Sure, but just as a name for an ability, it's a lot better. But some of them I'm just like, why did you name that way?
I mean, Riot doesn't even remember most of the time why they name things that way.
Well, Haru's on the top side of the map, so this should be a very easy first Drake going over to Kongdoo monster.
I mean, they have 2 ultimates. One of them is Frozen Tomb, and the other one is Glacial Prison. I mean, come on. It's like the same thing.
That's a good point.
Why does that exist? My favorite Riot ability naming story is when they made Ahri. They named Ahri's passive Soul Eater when they forgot that Nasus's passive was also named Soul Eater. Like, they don't even know what their names are. So they just doubled down, so they had to change it. I don't even remember what Ahri's passive is named now, but they did double up very briefly and then had to patch in a name change for that ability.
Maybe no one will notice.
I think it's Essence Thief. I think that's Ahri's passive.
That sounds correct. Haru going to get locked down by the Ring of Frost. Seismic Shove's not going to connect though. So Edge just going to get chunked down a little bit. It's, Essence Theft.
Oh, Theft, not Thief. I messed it up.
Well, it's basically the same. No. Still we started off, really fast-paced. There's a lot of kills coming through. A lot of ganks. And everybody's just like, okay, we got that out of our system. Let's calm down now and take our time.
I vote we just name abilities literally what they are so we don't forget. Boulder Field is good. I'm renaming Glacial Prison as Ice Bola. There you go. Simple, effective.
I'm surprised it wasn't named that to begin with.
Ice Bola?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know why it's Glacial Prison. That's a really bad name for that ability. Now, Lyssandra's Frozen Tomb makes more sense, because that's actually, she puts you in an Ice Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
So I get that one. Glacial Prison for Sejuani, though, that's a mystery.
That should just be called Rock Toss instead of Threaded Volley. Gragas's would probably be just way too depressing though.
No, Explosive Cask is literal. That's
okay,
fine.
Explosive Cask is fine.
That's fine.
Drunken Rage is there as well.
Yeah, Barrel Roll is just a cheesy joke.
Oh, yeah. How does he trigger it? He must have there must be C4 inside of the barrel.
No,
of the remote trigger.
He controls the fermentation of the yeast with his mind. So he can make it ferment faster or slower to explode.
Okay, so we have BDD, who is an earth bender, and then we have an alcohol bender in the Gragas.
He's a yeast bender.
Yeast bender, sorry. All right, so you can make your bread rise real good.
That's one thing he can do.
That would be the most actually I've seen some pretty heard of some pretty useless superpowers, but the power to control yeast
Gragas
definitely goes up into the top
Bender.
5 of like the worst superpowers you could ever have.
I don't know, man. He can make alcohol really fast. That sounds like a great way to save money.
Sure, but I mean in the scheme of like saving people's lives.
Or make money, really.
Yeah,
Instant brewery, man.
that would be, yeah, make a good deal.
I'd be a yeast bender, whatever.
Just gonna embrace that. Oh, one's gonna get knocked back here. Flashes away. And now it's gonna take a bit of damage. The root comes through from the Jin. Now Curtain Call opened up. Edge just trying to find the kill, but Standing United comes through, as does the Devourer. Now over the wall, they're gonna spit him out.
Oops. Well, that Weaver's Wall wasn't the best, but everything else was really good.
Well,
Mad Life's going to peace out back into the jungle right now, not going to get caught out in the pit. Mad Life actually coming through and flashing over the wall with Haru in his belly. Great save. Haru's mechanics on this Gragas have been good so far this game. Really good, actually.
Seems like Haru's been putting in a lot of work since the last time that we saw this guy, because you know, it was like exciting to see this fresh blood coming into CJ back at the beginning of summer. You know, a kid kind of like found out of solo queue, and then he just really didn't deliver a lot of the times. But now it looks like he might have been putting in some actual work. So we'll take a look at this fight. Punch just getting bopped.
Yep, and Haru here, just watch, just picks up that kill. BDD always there. He turns back around, gets the body slam off, has the Shen ult still on him. Shen actually doesn't complete that channel, looks like.
I think he got interrupted by the pillar.
Yeah, it could have been. I didn't see the top lane right there.
That's the only other way that Trundle could have interrupted it, so it had to have been the pillar.
Yes, indeed.
So, but that's going to be a slight lead coming out for CJ now. 1,300 gold ahead. Cougar walking and face checking this brush. Going to get rooted. He's ready for the Devourer, but Kramer goes low, so Mad Life has to eat him up. He's going to get stunned up. Can he use the shield? No, doesn't get it in time. Now Kramer getting hit by another Winner's Bite. Exhaust coming through as well, but there's no one there to capitalize on the kill. Shy even with the teleport, looking for a taunt flash body slam on the soul. They knock him in underneath the tower. He flashes and heals. Is it enough to get him out the safety? Looks like it just might be. Frozen Tomb down onto Haru. Shy goes down. Haru, one more hit would do it, but Roach just can't find it. Now BDD in a bad spot, getting knocked back, locked up into the pillar, over the wall, and now he is going to go down as Edge finds the kill. Kramer gets the curtain call up. He's looking for Cougar, who has the shield, but Roach can body block the rest. It's him for 374, but it's not enough to take him down. And that's going to be 3 members of CJ Entus going down, 3 for 2 in favor of Kongdoo Monster.
Yeah, CJ did sort of just file in one by one. They didn't have the stand united because it was interrupted earlier. Took a bit of a risky fight right here, but Punch comes over the wall. They still have the Devour from Bad Life, so they think they're okay. Bad Life can't pop the bubble quite early enough right here. Exhaust goes down early. Remember, Kramer has no mana right now, so he's hurting in this fight. Haru tries to make the play, but Shen just doesn't have the follow-up, so it's a really awkward flash from Shy. Not going to get too much, considering that the heal is used right there by Soul to keep himself alive. They go under the turret. Can't quite finish off Haru, and BDD, next victim, nowhere to go. Boxed in by the pillar. And he probably should have just flashed straight back, actually, and tried to get as much turret damage as possible. But still, we do end with CJ in the lead in this game.
Yeah, but barely so. Less than 1,000 gold, and now the Ocean Drake started up. Haru looking for the seal, has the Standing United coming through. He's not going to find it. His Punch is able to take that one away, but they kill the Rek'Sai immediately. Everybody else on Kongdoo Monster will be able to back out, but CJ Group is 5. Going to set their eyes on this mid-tier 1, and they might be able to take it out.
Yeah, Weaver's Wall again, awkward. Ideally, they would have blocked off Kongdoo from rotating through their own jungle to defend this turret. Would have bought them a little bit more time and damage. They're the root
down onto Roach. Ooh, nice pillar to interrupt the body slam of Haru. Didn't know that interaction would work that way. And he won't make the connection, so Roach will be fine with the waves pushing in. They have the wave clear from the Sivir. Looks like it's reliable enough to go ahead and stave them off from this tower. Void Rush used by Punch to come back in, and CJ gonna have to back off. So they lose the Dragon, and they're not gonna be able to find anything for it except for that kill on the Rek'Sai.
CJ, the Weaver's Walls out of BDD rather this game have not been great. They've been a little bit short each time, not actually trapping people on the right side, so that CJ can finish off some of these kills, nor really zoning them off objectives favorably, as we saw right there. Had that been through the enemy jungle. There would have been an opportunity to take the mid lane turret in addition to that kill.
So CJ still having that slight little lead, but not able to find too much ground as far as the objectives go. 0 turrets, 0 dragons. Kongdoo haven't been able to find any towers themselves, so that first brick gold still available. Which we really need to make like a petition so that everybody in all of the other regions adopts the first brick.
Well, you have to have a word for it, because saying tower first blood or first tower gold is too long, so
yeah.
it's all right.
Pretty irksome.
They will learn the error of their ways in time. Riot should have just named it for us. Well, no, they probably would have called it like dust from the first stone that falls or something like that, because you have to make it insanely complicated.
I would love to see that written out. They get the pop-up during the NALCS to explain to everybody what that means. But no, first brick, somebody go make like a change.org petition or something. We'll get a bunch of signatures on it. Try to get Riot to enforce that. It probably won't work anyway.
No.
I mean, we have 500 million signatures. Nope. Dust from the first brick that fell.
Yep, exactly.
It must be.
You clearly don't know what you want, fans. We know what you want.
CJ pushing into the river here. Good amount of vision coming through from Kongdoo. They've had some pretty good ward control around this bottom side of the river for the most part, but haven't been able to find much off of it. Missile Voyage used in the bottom lane with Haru, but on the hunt gets popped. Weaver's Wall comes out, but it's not in time to cut anybody off, so Kongdoo will be perfectly safe.
Yeah, these Weaver's Walls have been really bad for BDD this game. He's been showing up at approximately the right time and playing well in the skirmishes, but the zoning tool has not been used properly. That's such a huge part of Talia's kit and why she is so powerful in the current meta, and they've lost a lot that they could have gained by misusing the Weaver's Wall.
BDD just late to the punch on that one. See if he can make up for some of these sloppy walls as we move forward into this game now. 21 minutes. Still just going to be 1,500 gold separating the teams. At the moment, CJ going to be looking to get that first brick gold as they move forward, but Haru's only able to get one slap in on the tower. So not able to do a whole lot. Kongdoo just rotating back down to the bottom where they've already done some good work onto that tier 1 turret. So if they get that shove going on with Soul, they might be able to take this tower out.
Yeah, nobody there. They do have the... No, they don't have the
There's no
Abyssal
Abyssal Voyage.
Wow, all right.
Well, he's not hard shoving at the moment, but Kramer's still on the run. Looks like they'll just push the wave up into it, get some damage that way, but the turret won't be going down quite yet, so this still gives CJ an opportunity to net that first brick.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity. Not only that, but Sol and Cougar didn't clear out either of the pink wards. One in the lane,
yeah, they
one
walked
in the
over that
river
one in the
brush.
river.
Like, they could have taken the tower right there. They could have at least cleared some of their wards for free, but that's a lot of value that CJ got just because Kongdoo was afraid of the Stand United, really.
So they're going to be missing out. You see Punch sitting inside the Dragon Pit, waiting, but he's going to see Haru as Haru spots that ward, so he's going to go ahead and hightail it back out of there. Next Dragon getting ready to come up. It's another Ocean Drake. CJ have yet to take an objective in this game, so they will certainly want to fight over this one. As the double Ocean be way too much sustained for the side of Kongdoo. They're coming back out. Kramer going to have to eat this wave and try to keep it away from the turret, because a couple of swings from Soul will take that down.
BDD constantly threatening, though. No wards right
popped
now.
Up. The Ring of Frost coming through. Missile Voyage uses Mad Life arrives. Soul running up the river as well. Not able to find anything, but now Kramer in an awkward spot where he's trying to get back to the tower, but Cougar is just sitting there threatening to stun. Looks like he will be able to work his way through. Haru and Mad Life roaming back down, gonna get spotted by that Scuttle Crab. So no surprises coming in here for Kongdoo Monster. They know exactly what's going on. We're gonna be looking for the blue buff, uses the Dragon Rage. Both junglers have the smite available. Waiting for the pop. It's gonna go over actually to Edge, so best case scenario there for Kongdoo. The seismic shove comes in, Cougar goes low, they throw out that threaded volley. Punch will be taking a hell of a lot of these shots from the curtain call. Kramer fires off one blind, cancels the rest, and now CJ, they can move over and take this Ocean Drake.
Yeah, Haru, they did hit the seismic shove as a result of Haru's explosive cast, but they also missed the Jin Brute as it was coming through, so they couldn't secure a kill right there. Still, the Drake will be good enough. First one of the game for CJ Entus. Every time BDD puts out this Unraveled Earth, it really does come up a little bit short.
Yeah, it seems like he's really overestimating the amount of range that he has, and it's always you know, several characters away from actually hitting anybody. So maybe he's just not that practiced on Talia.
He had one game, and we've seen a bunch of Talia bans against him.
Yeah. It's all just a ruse.
I don't know what we're looking at right here. Looks like we're just going to take a look at that tower. It is
get
a
an update on that.
50% HP. Shen is, Shai's doing very well in late on this Shen against Trundle.
Yeah. Soul having to back off away from this turret. CJ really trying to hold on to this one, but now Edge making his roam down. Gamer arrives, needs to clear this out. 4 members of Kongdoo Monster hovering in this bottom side of the map. BDD did roam down, but he could have been shoving into mid that entire time. Has the Weaver's Wall to rely on to get him down here quickly. Instead opted into walking, and he's going to lose that pressure that he could have had in mid.
Shai also fell back to the Gromp just so he would be sure to actually get a standing United off. So yes, BDD could have stayed in mid lane right there. Cautious play though. If you have that Talia down there, they do commit to a dive, and you can instantaneously hit your ultimate. You can keep them nice and bottled up underneath your tower.
Now, 45 minutes in. Still just 1.3 thousand, so CJ haven't been able to do anything with this lead outside of picking up that Ocean Drake. Not going to get a whole lot. Cougar going to get seismic shoved in. Oh, the W not going to connect, but now the current call opened up. Soul going to eat one of those, 2. And last bullet flies straight into Kramer, able to snipe out the Braum, finds the kill. TP being used, coming through now is Roach and Edge. This could be messy for CJ, fighting underneath the turret. Punch going low, takes the tunnel out, but BDD's on the backside trying to find the kill. Push forward there from Edge, nice devour from Mad Life, takes BDD to safety.
Mad Life predicted that with a flash. He actually just flashed over as soon as they started to collapse. Onto BDD, he flashes the wall to make sure he can get the Devour, so there's no follow-up off of the Lissandra ultimate. Very well done, and they're going to take a ride to the mid lane and try and get 2 towers. Nicely played by Mad Life.
Yeah, you have Punch and Edge coming over to this mid, though. Edge going to short the wall, can't make it through, but he'll still be there in time, but it doesn't matter. The first tower has already gone down in favor of CJ, and now that gold lead has doubled. Edge taking a hell of a lot of hits in mid. Turret almost down as well, but CJ not able to close out that kill.
And the Simmer's not there either. Simmer heading
by
down to the bottom.
Deadly Flourish not going to root anybody up. Kongdoo Monster just trying to hold on to this turret, but it's already so very low. You have Kramer with that crit shot walking forward, going to take a big chunk off the tower, and it's going to go down Shy. Not going to connect with a Shadow Dash, but CJ, they are coming up spades after that play in bot. 2 turrets and a couple of kills as well, so looking very good moving forward at the 27-minute mark.
They finally get that engagement. The Weaver's Wall is good that time around. They set up the play on the side lane that they had been looking for and managed to execute it well. Take 2 towers as a result. Mad Life thinking quickly there to return BDD into the mid lane as well as save him in that tri-brush position. That was all about Mad Life.
Yeah, I'll take a look at this again. So good pitch in onto Cougar. And the prediction here from Kramer.
Yep, that's going to be a blind shot. Just assumes he's going to be under the turret. Does indeed find him right there. Then here's the follow-up. And
oh, never mind. We have to watch
Trundle.
We have to watch Punch just run through the jungle.
All right. Well, that was really important. I didn't want to see that fight at all, Achilles.
No one cares what Bad Life did.
Roach,
He's been doing cool stuff for years now. It's all just, it's old news.
Roach actually did take out the bottom turret right there.
Oh, so he did? That's what was so important that we had to see, except we didn't see it.
We saw the announcement of the turret going down on the screen. That was the exciting part.
All right.
Screw the game. I just want text updates of what the players do.
We should just do, why don't we even have to cast?
Just live tweet.
Yeah. Just be like, you know, esports wikis, and we'll just tweet what's going on. Now, CJ, a lot of people playing up towards this top side of the map. Don't think they're in much position to go for the turret, though. Punch is hovering around by the Krugs, so they can match a 3v3 up top. EDD, though, working his way up the river, has that Weaver's Wall available if they want to try to go for a cutoff. Haru's coming around the side. We'll find Punch and
빨간
company.
팀의 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Now they're getting pinched on from below. They get the tower, but Edge moving in. Haru really far forward. Has that Winter's Bite ticking on him. Can they get the concussive blows block? Looks like it's going to be a yes. He gets popped up, taken down to about half HP. Stand United now coming through from Shy. Curtain call opened up, trying to slow up Roach rather. They get hit a couple of times. Fourth bullet still there. Goober throwing up that Unbreakable just in case he gets fired at him. Stay alive though, and CJ unable to find anybody, but they put another turret on the board, and they move forward a little bit more with their gold lead.
Still an awkward fight from CJ, though. Haru didn't actually use his explosive cask, and they committed with the Stand United, so it looked like it was a slight miscommunication there, because otherwise Haru could have flashed explosive cask and really tried to take somebody down while Shy was ulting in, but Kongdoo did the efficient thing, they did the smart thing, and just retreated as soon as they saw the Stand United animation start.
Well, CJ, they will at least net their second dragon. It's going to be another Ocean Drake. So a lot of Ocean Drakes today.
Yeah.
Triple Ocean Drake for the second time.
We still haven't seen an Infernal Drake in 4 games.
Yep. Close say on. And Elder Dragon, of course, is where post 30 minutes will be the next one spawning. So I'm not going to see anything else. So yet again, 2 dragons apiece. Elder Drake not going to help out either of these teams too much, but Kongdoo with the mountain would help them out a bit more, I suppose.
Well, certainly. Roach, I'm still waiting for him to get into that split pushing stage. Shy has been doing a good job of just controlling him in the lane early with the quick Tiamat.
Yeah, and Roach actually opted in for the Ravenous Hydra instead of the Titanic.
Now it's a GA.
Sometimes seen.
GA is going to be the next item for Shy. Also, really does need to be able to come back to life.
Ooh, couldn't get it. But taken away there, Deathfire Touch. It's close there by Kongdoo, but I don't think CJ is going to feel confident enough to go for this Baron for a little while unless they can get a crucial pick in onto Punch. But even then, the amount of damage that can be output by Soul in a fight if he can kite well enough, it's going to be pretty scary when you're all clumped up. So CJ just going to push forward, look for some vision. Edge waiting in the brush, sitting on top of that pink, so he knows that he's not seen. But no one's going to walk close enough for him to try to go for a pick.
He's actually just cutting the wave. Trying to push forward even further and keep Roach on his side of the map. Everybody else setting up vision. They want to get those picks right now.
Haru fighting Punch. Gonna take a little bit of damage, but overall not going to do a whole lot here. They'll lose that ward. Maybe that Raptor. Haru is able to take it away, so he wins the war. But this is where things start getting a bit scary for CJ. They're 33 minutes into this one, have a lead, but historically these are the times they have not been able to close things out. Weaver's Wall used. Everybody on Kongdoo able to get to the other side in time.
Yeah, thanks to the Sivir ultimate, providing necessary speed to make it over the wall. No one actually going to get caught out. Would have been nice to probably have saved that one. again, deployed it. They should be accounting for the Sivir ultimate when BDD is fishing here for picks. Hasn't really been happening yet this game, though.
Now we're just back to farming.
Just back to baiting the Baron, but they can't do it because there's a ward there right behind the red buff. Got to clear that out first.
If only they knew.
Bad Life does have a sweeper, so they can know if they so choose.
I think he just found it. There's some pings out. Nope, never mind.
He used a sweeper, but he did not see it somehow.
Must just be that brush. I mean, we didn't, you know, we saw.
Yeah, there's something weird going on with that brush today.
Yeah. Speno and ESC brush, that pick ward just sitting there for a while, so. A buggy brush, perhaps. You can't just like remake it disable brushes though, or wards. Sort of breaks the game. In case anybody was wondering, Aurelion Sol is disabled in Korea after the fiasco. Might be a strong word, but
yeah, it's a little strong. Yeah, it's just one remake. Happens from time to time.
We'll call it fiasco for CLG's sake.
Well, I don't know. People seem to be complaining about that, but I fail to see how one champion pick would ruin an entire best of 5, particularly when the losing team lost 0-3. I'm sorry, you did not lose because of one champion.
Yeah, precisely. That just seems to be the argument. And BDD is going to miss that Weaver's ball yet again. That's the tally I should be starting, actually. I think that's like 4 missed Weaver's walls. So we'll go with that. I'm going to start the count at 4. Now shoving forward, getting some damage in onto Edge. He's going to get rooted down. First call going to be opened up. He takes that glacial path out. Has to use his Zonias. Does he know the timing? Is he like Arrow? Yes, he is. Kramer gets him as soon as he comes out of that one. And pops out Edge, and that's going to be CJ pushing forward, getting this tier 2. Now the pings are coming out onto the Baron. Punch is still alive and healthy, but that Lysandra, a lot of the AoE control goes away.
And it does. Teleports up, so they can't be too tardy here if they want to start this Baron, but they are just going to bait it instead, see how much more they can get.
Trying to bait this one out. Shadow Dash goes forward onto Cougar. He's going to take a bit of damage. Uses to stand behind me to close a very slight distance onto Roach. And CJ. Gambit's been called, so they're not going to be able to get onto this Baron. That opportunity has passed, as Edge will be back up in about 15 seconds. So CJ really just got to net themselves that tier 2 and nothing more off of that pick.
CJ should have just started the Baron.
Yeah.
No reason at 35 minutes to delay. You can go ahead and take that one out. Yeah, you just have to make sure Punch is on the outside, but you do have the Shen and the Gragas to get over the Baron pit wall to make sure that Punch is not going to be there.
You can also just devour him if he comes in. So a couple different ways to try and control the Rek'Sai. It's not going to be used. Elder Dragon has since spawned, so we'll have that and the Baron sitting here for a while, it would seem. 4,600 gold lead here for CJ, so still in a comfortable spot, but definitely not something that's insurmountable by Kongdoo Monster.
So back to delightful Baron baiting, now with more pink wards from CJ Entus.
This is the fun reality that we live in, where we just get to watch people farm forever.
Yeah, it's all about the Baron bait, man.
It's great.
Gotta go slow.
It's like all
Take
of the
it easy.
all of the wonderful movies that just keep getting remade for no reason. It's like we get to watch those and nothing else.
Yeah, that's great. I really love the creativity of Hollywood.
Like, oh yes, let us remake Ben-Hur again.
They're
and
remaking
again.
Ben-Hur.
It's already at the box office. It's already
What?
out. Morgan Freeman's in it.
What?
Yeah. He's got dreadlocks.
What?
It's
I don't want that at all.
It's really bad.
I really don't want that.
It's got like a 30% on
What?
Rotten Tomatoes.
The original Ben-Hur is such an awesome chariot racing.
Yeah, it's like
It's iconic.
that
scene.
movie is an epic. And yeah, they did a remake of it. Oh, that's going to be the knock-in on the punch. Getting locked up. Haru going to have those concussive blows come through, but the Sand United is there to keep him alive. Punch has to back off. Teleport going to be channeled in by Roach. Joining his team as CJ pushes forward, looking for this tier 2 in the top tower. Deadly Flourish not going to connect, and Edge just throwing forward for the wave clear, but Roach gets knocked in with the seismic shove. Still has that Guardian Angel, but he's taking a lot of damage, slows down the Subjugate onto Shy, trying to work his way through that Shed. Now Haru in a bad spot has to run back. Zone is used here by Edge. Root not going to connect as he does flash away, but they're right back in on the Haru. Devour comes through for Mad Life, trying to keep him alive. He's going to flash away to try to buy some time. Shy sitting forward, going to have his GA proc so far. It's a 1-for-1. Haru going down in exchange for Cougar. CJ still looking for more. The Glacial Path coming through from Edge. Not going to follow it up though. Punch getting locked down. One last hit. The crit from Kramer comes up with a kill. Roach locked in, trying to just trade back. Not able to do so. He's going to fall. A double kill coming in for Kramer. A triple kill now for Kramer. BDD going low. Soul trying to trade it back. He's able to do so, but Mad Life gets to eat the TP coming through. And that is going to be the ace on Kongdoo Monster. Now with Shy back in the lane, they should be able to take this tier 2 tower.
Wow, that was wild, especially the TP coming through on the Jin trap to actually end that fight. It's going to be a very slow push here. Don't have a minion wave to work with. Mike will help by using his Devour to give a little bit of AoE clear, and eventually they will get the fruits of their labor. But start of this fight, so Claw comes in. They think they catch out Roach to start this thing off. Remember, he already has the GA though, and starts to go ahead and steal some of those stats from Shy. Punch does end up showing up. Now Soul plays this fight really well. Lots of ricochets going on. Edge gets bumped out by the Talia, but Soul is still here ricocheting all the way through the members of CJ Entus and not getting hit at all. So Roach will fall. First GA's triggered.
He spit Haru right back into Kongdoo Monster.
Yeah, now watch what Shy does too. He actually gets out of here with a Shadow Dash, flashes, and then recalls to come back into the fight. Punch gets rooted down, and Soul zoned out of the fight by the boulders from Talia. Edge comes back in, does manage to pick up a kill right there, and Soul thinks he's got enough, and indeed he does, but they are going to trade out kills in the end for the Talia for the Sivir.
Yep. And the tier 2 does come through, so a little rough there from CJ, but ultimately coming out on top. That nice 5-for-3 exchange plus tower. They'll be in a pretty good spot. Yeah, Ben-Hur has a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is 2% higher rated than Suicide Squad, so you know it's real quality.
Okay, well, you know what? Bad Life gonna get caught a little bit.
Yeah, it's taking a good little bit of damage. Slow coming through on the Winter's Bite. Will connect on a Haru. Edge coming into the backside, trying to lock down. BDD has that cleanse. Gets devoured up by Mad Life. Now into the zone. He has Edge trying to stay alive, but BDD is able to finish him up with that volley in the end. Punch going low. Haru shorts the barrels, not able to find the killing blow onto the Rek'Sai yet, but now Roach on the backside of this fight is trying to stick in and find an answering kill, is unable to do so. Gets taken down 2-for-0 in favor of CJ. They're going to go ahead and start up this Baron. The recall comes through from Punch, going to jump back in with the Void Rush. Could be looking for the steal. Has to dive in here ASAP. It's going low. Can he find it? He's able to take it away. CJ, they lose the Baron. They'll find Punch in the end. A kill coming through from BDD, but Kongdoo Monster coming up with the crucial steal on the Baron to buy themselves some time.
Oh man, you just can't do that. You have so many tools to get over the wall to make sure that isn't going to happen. And they give it up anyway. Punch with a big steal. Can they actually make something of it? Soul at least still has the Baron buff, but everybody going to be turning on to the Elder Dragon now. And CJ with still a substantial gold advantage.
Yep. Now they're going to get ahead. Not miss a beat. Go straight for this Elder Dragon. Punch is gone, so there's no hope of a counter steal. They'll take this one away, and I think it's just 2 members now, I think, on Kongdoo Monster that still have that Baron buff, but we'll take another look at this one.
I mean, they're trying to play defense, but there's a pink ward, so they can't ward over the wall. 1275, 900, 600 just to smite. That's it. I mean, Haru had a chance to smite that one too, didn't actually take the opportunity. So good timing there from Punch, and they had a pink ward in the red, the bush behind the red buff. So any wards that were popped over the wall by CJ would have been taken out. You just have to blindly go over that wall at a certain point. Shen should be tanky enough to deal with that.
Well, got to be a bit of a head scratcher there for CJ, but overall they're still maintaining control in this game. 6.4 thousand up at the moment. Now Shy going to be moving forward in the bottom side of the map, looking for that tier 2 turret. The last outer still standing for Kongdoo Monster. So we'll see if they're able to get it on the push. The rest of CJ now gravitating their way down. A split going on the top side of the map, despite the fact that the TP is there for Shy. But no matter, they're able to find it.
Not going to be pushing too far forward, though. 2 Baron buffs still up. It's going to be a challenge to get more than an inner turret. The duration of the buff. They're going to try and actually make a pick, though.
Yeah, trying to go for Roach. He throws on the pillar, really well placed, but here comes BDD. Hasn't used the Weaver's Wall yet, can still try to cut him off there. It actually is standing at the moment. Roach now getting pinched on, standing out, coming through from Haru to get in onto the trundle, root him with the deadly flourish. But he's still very tanky. Still has the subjugate as well. Looks like he might just stay alive. So CJ investing 2 of their ultimates, 3 of their ultimates really with the Stand United. Trying to find the trundle, but all they get is 20% of his HP.
Yeah, and a Sivir ultimate too, but not that much. Roach doesn't even have to flash to get out of that in the end. So CJ overcommitting to an attempt on the pick. And potentially getting themselves strung out right there for a good Lysandra ultimate, considering how far behind Kramer and Mad Life were after they got pillared and had to walk around it to get back into the river.
Void Rush used down here. Punch just rejoining his team. Kongdoo just in the unfortunate spot where they can't really do anything. They've only taken 1 tower in this game. That bottom tier 1. Tier 1s and top and mid are both standing at 45 minutes.
They're lucky they got that Baron too, because it has stretched this game out to a point where maybe they can hit 6 items.
Oh, well, now they're going to be looking for Haru, have the concussive blow stacking up. They'll be able to lock him up, but a triple body slam comes through for the Gragas. Opens up for the curtain call. Cougar already going down low. 1 more hit will do it, but Roach is just body blocking the rest of these shots. Bullet comes through, BDD picks up the kill, and now they're on to Roach yet again. Seismic shot pushing him back in. Still staying alive, flashes over that tower. Throws down the pillar, that means Roach is still going to live through this, but now the flash goes down, so does the subjugate. As long as that Guardian Angel, but CJ pushing him back to the fountain. They're going to be looking for their first inhibitor tower, moving in. They're going to knock this thing down very quickly. Inhibitor should follow. Kongdoo Monster can't do much other than watching this thing go. Got a nice explosive cast on the punch into the taunt. They will be able to pop the Guardian Angel, but can they do much more? Still has the flash available. He's going to flash immediately, try to get out of here with the tunnel. So he will be able to do so. BDD just firing off threaded volleys from the backside, try to jump them down as best as they can. But CJ not going to be able to find anything else outside of that inhibitor.
Yeah, CJ has such a lead that when they actually use the Taliyah ult properly, it makes it look easy. If they had been able to zone better with the Weaver's Wall this whole game, this game would already be over. But they've missed so many times. That time was not one of them. Easy follow-up into the inhibitor itself. Now they can wait it out for the second Baron of the game and make their final push off of that objective instead. BDD coming up a little bit short here on the Weaver's Walls. More often than not, only about 1 in 3 have been any good at all.
Yeah. It's just been pretty rough, but now we have our 6 item builds coming through for multiple members on either side. It's really just going to be the supports that are lacking at the current moment. And then Punch, who still just has that Randowitz on the way, sitting on the Warden's Veil still. But both Edge and BDD, Soul and Kramer have been 6 items for quite some time. Mad Life has 2 levels over top of Cougar though, 14 for him. He's been trailing behind on the Braum.
Mad Life doesn't have a large amount of kill participation in this game, certainly not 17 out of 18 like BDD has, but he's been really clutch on a lot of these plays, saving people mostly.
Yeah.
And resetting team fights.
Which is fine if that's what you get from your Tom Kench. Oh, goes through on the punch, but it looks like he completed that tunnel in time, so he made it to the other side. Now CJ trying to let that pressure build up in bottom so they can push in on top, but see Roach is just sitting there catching the wave outside of the base. He'll be able to tank that up, doesn't have to worry about taking any damage from those minions. So you can just sit there and wail on them all day long and just keep clearing out the waves.
Just a waiting game. See if they get anything at all before the Baron spawns. No vision there for Kongdoo. Opportunity to fall back into the jungle and just try and clear this Baron out quickly. See how dedicated CJ is after getting one stolen out from under them.
Well, there's no vision. They clear out that scrying orb. They're going to put down another one. Baron's down to about half HP. Punch already here. Let's see if he can have the repeat steal. Baron down to less than 4,000 HP. CJ still sticking to it. It resets a little bit, gets some health back. Roach pitching around from the backside. Punch goes in, gets a knock up on the Haru. Just getting knocked into the wall. Now Edge coming through, hasn't found a way to get in. The Weaver's Wall separating the majority of the team. Soul trying to fire off as best as he can, but can't get a whole lot done. Shy gets worked down a little bit. It's going to be the Ring of Frost third down on Haru, trying to keep him away from Edge. Root not going to connect. There's no damage there to really get that root in from the Deadly Flourish. Now Roach down to about half HP, but he's going to be regenerating with minions dying around him, so he'll still be in a very comfortable spot. Has the Subjugate. No ultimates have been used on the side of Kongdoo Monster yet.
Yeah, they're just waiting though for these super minions to start taking out the Nexus turrets. Kongdoo does have to respond. There is no TP on the Roach, so they have to send Edge back instead, and it will be back onto the Baron.
Have to be cautious. Punch waiting over the wall. Be looking for the steal. Edge still not channeling the teleport yet. It's going to take him 4 seconds to arrive. There's a ward right in the base that he could come to. Still not doing it. Baron goes low. They get on the punch. They try to taunt him up. They knock in Roach. Still has that Guardian Angel up. Now the Curtain Call being opened up. The first shot going to miss. Second one goes in, but the Pillar interrupting Kramer. But he's still able to get a big pop on the punch with that final crit shot. Edge going for it, trying to get in onto that Jhin, onto that Talia, but he's just not able to do it. And now Roach Cougar going low. The big body slam comes through, the seismic shove. 2 kills picked up and the GA. Shy respawning, as is Haru. They're going to be fine. They pop Roach in the end. They should be able to get this kill, if not just the ace. Soul going almost down, trying to find a kill onto Mad Light, but Shy is coming around the side. Has that shield coming through, could very well kill the Sivir with the help of Kramer. Soul is going to have to hightail it the hell out of here. And CJ, they're pushing in. They're super creeps at the Nexus Towers. The first one almost going down. They might be able to end right here.
Well, they're going to see how far they can get. I'm not sure they can end. They may just go for another inhibitor instead. They are going to try, though, as the TP comes back in.
TP coming through now from Shy. BDD on the run back. Doesn't have the Weaver's Wall, but the inhibitor comes back up, so they have to clear this out first. It's 15 seconds on Punch, 15 on Cougar, and 25 on Edge. They might just try to finish off this turret as it only has a few more hits left, but I don't think that they can finish the game. The wave clear from Soul is going to be pretty strong. It looks like they're just going to take an Abyssal Voyage out to safety. But do they go straight for the Baron? It looks like Haru says yes. Void Rush being used. Punch going to come in above the Baron pit. Going to be looking for a steal.
Well, they lost their pressure from the super minions in the bottom lane. Have to wait for another wave to move all the way across the map, and they're not going to go for it this time.
Recalls coming through.
Yeah, it's a smart recall. They need to go ahead and spend some of the money that they've earned.
Kongdoo not going to just go ahead and try to rush down that Baron, so looks like CJ will be in a nice spot, but this does give Kongdoo the priority over vision, so they'll be able to go in, clear out these pinks, lay down wards of their own, get some inside of the jungle. The Weaver's Wall going to be used. They're trying to cut them off on the right side. It's going to be a call used, but now everybody is out of range, so Kramer has to cancel it, wait for the reset to come through. Roach getting popped in with the seismic shove, does not have his Guardian Angel, does not have his flash, gets rooted by the Deadly Flourish, but still is alive. Haru going to go low. Cougar has to flash away, almost goes down, but it's just not enough damage to finish him off. Haru going low, Edge goes in, finishes off the Gragas. It's going to be Shy going down as well, and now the rest of CJ have to kite back. Punch with that Guardian Angel, almost getting it popped, but everybody on Kongdoo Monster stays alive, albeit barely, for 2 members. Punch gonna go with a recall, has the Void Rush, and now suddenly they're in such a rough spot where CJ have to try to get this Baron, but there's just no way to do it, so they peel back, and Kongdoo Monster will get the 2nd Baron of the game.
And really it comes down to BDD's Weaver's Walls being quite bad again. They thought they could just isolate them at the Baron pit, but it was so far away that it was easy for Kongdoo just to escape, get back into a choke point, and force CJ into another choke in order to fight them. Great Lissandra play from Edge. to really turn that around. And now they're going to go for the Elder Dragon also. Can they get it? Shy will have Stand United, but they have to buy 20 seconds.
This is going to be really rough now from CJ, who have had control over this game for so long, and now it's starting to slip through their grasp. First the Baron, now the Elder Drake. 2 buffs up for Kongdoo, one of them being a mountain.
Well, we talked about this, Achilleos. The Civ are going to be a lot more useful in the late game. Also, the Trundle being able to take so many tank statistics away from the Shen. And BDD, he's just not using the wall properly to divide and conquer here against Kongdoo.
Now Kongdoo finally going to be able to net their second turret of the game in 54 minutes as they knock down that tier 1 in mid. CJ going to have to try to hold on to the rest of these. They're going to go ahead and pop that curtain call. A nice Weaver's Wall coming through this time for BDD. But the rest of CJ just not able to get into a position to capitalize on this choke point that they created for themselves. They'll get a root in onto Soul, knock him down to about half HP. The Kongdoo Monster, they're still sticking around. Shy's in the top lane, no TP available, has to Stand United, but they just haven't had the opening for it yet. And that's going to be another turret going over to Kongdoo Monster, who bring us to about 2,000 gold separating.
Gold, not so much of an issue anymore.
It's not going to matter at all.
Not going to matter in the least, except for the supports. But I mean, Weaver's Wall is so bad. And it doesn't actually do anything in this fight. Everybody from Kongdoo able to regroup on the side. Then we see the members of CJ go in. Good pillar to start to separate them. But really just watch Edge in this fight, because he's going to be the one who makes the big difference. They can't quite kill Cougar. Edge is going to find a glacial path into the middle of everybody. Nice self-ult. And that's the zone that they needed just for Soul to do an unholy amount of damage on the Sivir.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that Weaver's Wall could have worked a little bit better if Kramer had actually opened up the curtain call over top of the team, because it got cut off and everybody was able to exit it so easily. So suddenly the ultimate was just wasted and he had to cancel it.
It was,
didn't get that back up.
It was really early and it was really far away. You combine that with BDD just being short on a bunch of his
trying
skill
it
shots.
again, they cut off Roach, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Kill the Trundle with the Guardian Angel?
Yeah, it's just,
that's gonna be another one.
This Talia play, now we've seen BDD play it before, it wasn't this bad. This is really bad Talia play. The damage just isn't there because the Unraveled Earth is not hitting anybody.
I might have overshot my initial prediction, but I have 11 bad Weaver's Walls so far.
Yeah, maybe. He has had some good seismic shoves. That's been the upside to his Talia play, but
seems like everything's been good other than the ultimate, which is one of the more important things. So another tower goes down. Now 7-5. And that's going to be Kongdoo Monster swinging into a gold lead. But again, at this point in the game, 56 minutes, most everybody has 6 items except for those supports. So gold is not going to matter so much. It's all about the kills and objectives that you can obtain from this point forward.
That last Baron too, they thought they had the good Weaver's Wall, but you just leave it alone. All they had to do was wait for the super minions to push into the bottom side. You were already lucky enough to take out the bottom turret of the red base, the furthest one away from the Baron. Absolutely can actually just sit there and wait at the Baron buff. Instead, you throw out the bad Weaver's Wall, you feel like you have to commit, and you really don't. Just let them blow the Sivir ult. Stop caring.
Well, now things just went from pretty comfortable to pretty awful for CJ. They still are just looking for a way, not back into this game, but a way to close it out. They've just been struggling with that, not just in this match, but entire split so far.
It's really just disappointing Baron control from CJ. Both in letting that first one get stolen, and then in the way that they had an advantage with super minions and refused to play around it in the second.
Well, now everything's slowing down. Looks like we are going to end up with our second 60-minute plus game of the day, and we still have another best of 3 to go.
I wish I could say I was surprised, Achilleos, but I'm really not. It's pretty much what I expected.
CJ Entus. Oh boy. Well, we're in it for the long haul tonight. 7 p.m. already. And at least one more game in this set, so a minimum of 3 games that can be played. And up to 5 more.
Yep.
Oh dear, we're not even halfway there. But anyway, see Shy is pushing up top lane. Baron going to be spawning in a minute and 15 seconds. And God knows who's going to get it this time. Could be CJ, could be one out of 3.
Well, I think Kongdoo now has the big edge.
Yeah.
So many GAs. They have the big edge. He's not actually that big anymore because he's playing Lysandra. Really have the big soul. He's the scary one. But triple GA even on the support Cougar at the moment. And combine that with just the ferocity of the late game Trundle and the Sivir, and you should come out on top.
You know, I just realized that Kramer didn't go for the armor penetration build. I guess I haven't glanced at his build. I just kind of assumed, like, yeah, it's going to be the armor pen.
No, he did. He changed his items.
Oh, okay, he swapped them all. That just goes to show how much gold does not matter, that he's been able to do that. Oh, you're right. Now I remember him buying that Yomos first.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yes, he did.
Forgive me, it's been an hour now.
It's an hour into this game. He is 10-1-8 with 523 CS. He absolutely has enough money to swap out all of his items.
Maybe we'll get a new CS record. Soul's on the way there.
Yeah, he's actually doing pretty well.
It's like 200 more and he'll have it. I forget what it is. 800 and something, I'm pretty sure. But we'll see if he can make that mark, or if Kongdoo will just win the game before it happens. I think that's probably the more likely scenario.
You really have to blame CJ for this one. This has been absolutely pathetic shot calling to close out a game.
Oh, for sure.
It has such a huge lead.
Well, again, it's just reminiscent of a lot of stuff that we've seen so far in the summer split. Just get ahead early, which wasn't something that we would normally, connect with CJ. It was all about the late game in spring. They'd get ahead early, and then they just were unable to close it out. So,
well, at least in the spring, they had some good team fighting that would allow them to win in the late game, so it wasn't such a coin flip. But
spring was fine.
This game is a total coin flip.
I mean, Haru, be really far forward, gonna get locked up, but Mad Life is there for the Devour, so no kill coming through. Shy still splitting on the bot. Yeah, I mean, at the end of spring, we thought, CJ, here's a team that coming into the next split, given their, their big, like, 6-match win streak, almost making it into playoffs within reason. Thought maybe they would be a playoff contention team coming into summer, and it just completely reverted all of the progress that we made.
Now, what is the purpose of that Weaver's Wall right there?
It's to put another tally on my counter right there.
Haru got one barrel roll off of it. They aggroed the Baron to do a tiny amount of damage to Kongdoo.
That's worth it.
I think
it's a game of inches right now, Monte Cristo.
I'm pretty sure they had a ward on it.
Yeah, I mean, they also have an ocean drink, so any damage that you get on it is just going to go away. But bottom moving up, top moving up.
Well, at least they have side wave control, so they can threaten a Baron at the very least as they use their sweepers around the pit.
Void Rush coming out. There's plenty of wave clear there from Kongdoo, so they can just knock those waves right back over. Whether it's the Lysandra or the Sivir. Don't have too much to worry about. TJ opting to play around this mid tower rather than the open inhibitor and bot. Kongdoo not going to take a whole lot of anything as far as damage goes. CJ going to back off, edge showing yet again at top as the TP, but it's also very close distance. So it'll be safe to go ahead and keep that top wave pushing. CJ just can't do anything.
Won't do anything.
It's pretty close to both.
There is a bit of a difference.
Fair enough. Well, this is exhilarating.
They had such a huge advantage with the side wave control, and they didn't do anything with it. Now they're going to start.
All right, well, let's see if this one's going to bite them in the ass. They start up the Baron. Getting worked down, but Kongdoo Monster pushing forward, so CJ's going to go ahead and start to back off. They're keeping it in combat, though. Edge has not TP'd in yet. There's a ward in the river inside of the pit that he could choose from, as well as minions at the top of the lane. Still waiting. Hasn't done it. The Baron down to about half HP. Numbers on both sides, still fairly healthy. Haru and Shine not taking a whole lot of damage from this. They just come down to the smite off punch, moving forward. Baron down to 4,500. Now Haru getting knocked up, taking a bit, work down to a half HP. They knock in Roach, might be able to pop the GA in time. He throws out the subjugate. Looks like he's gonna stay alive as he retreats into the back. Haru going low, now the curtain call opened up, just firing shots in onto Cougar, trying to find Roach, but Kramer is just shooting blind. Hit the fourth and final in onto the Braum, but he's unable to do anything. And now Kongdoo Monster, they feel comfortable enough to go ahead, start up this Baron.
Guy's gonna recall and come back with full HP here.
Yeah, he's got the Stand United, he's got the TP up, so he can go on to anybody. Cougar takes a nice chunk of damage. Deadly flourishing in. Here comes Haru. Can he get it? No, he cannot punch. Going to confirm the third straight Baron for Kongdoo Monster. And now CJ Entus are in such a bad spot. Haru has to retreat over the backside of the wall with a body slam as he goes low. But Soul gets hit up. Shy getting knocked up into the air. Still has that Guardian Angel up. Gets devoured by Mad Life. But Kongdoo Monster, they're on for the chase. Get the Frozen Tube down on the Mad Life. Block him up with concussive blows, and they will be able to take him out. The question is who gets the kill. Looks like it's going to be Roach. They take him down so far. A 1-for-0 for Kongdoo. They're going to be happy with that and back off. But 3 consecutive Barons going over to them. CJ just unable to win the Smite battle.
No, they can't win the Smite battle, and they can't win much of anything right now. The team fight's not going their way either. And I mean, that particular fight, they had to back off because Shy went back in after the big crit came down onto Soul, thinking he may have been able to pick up the kill, but instead he put himself in danger, caused Mad Life to devour him, which meant he didn't have it up for Kramer, who they actually needed to do the damage. Now Kongdoo gonna go for the Elder Dragon and potentially the closer here.
They're gonna be able to get this one. BDD nowhere nearby. Cougar watching from the backside of the pit. There's already a massive wave built up in bottom that they can just power with this Baron buff, shove forward, and at least take an inhibitor.
Well, maybe. We'll see. Their composition is not great for sieging, especially when Roach is joined up with the rest of the team. He needs to...
There's wall used, just stopping the wave so they can clear it out. But it's just going to be a massive buildup, and there's no one really nearby to work that one down, so it's just going to be another fairly useless ultimate cast out there by BDD. On the hunt, used Shy, going to be up in the front line, so it's Guardian Angel available, but he's taking a hell of a lot of damage, worked down to about 50% HP. One more hit would proc those concussive blows. He's not going to take it. That's going to be the inhibitor going down. Kongdoo looking like they might just retreat. The waves aren't really prepped, mid especially not. Top is moving forward, but looks like they're going to go ahead and recall out first. So this game is going to keep on going.
They, like you say, they don't have mid ready. Even the top lane pretty far away. They'd have to recall and then head all the way back across the map. Instead, they're going to opt to go here and just try and push up the mid wave while they have an opportunity to. Either way, it was going to be a long walk for the members of Kongdoo. But again, they could have sent Roach up into the top lane a little bit earlier. Prepped that one, or even the mid lane. Decided not to.
They're just coming right in here for mid. Curtain call going to be opened up by Kramer. Roach perfectly happy to eat all of these shots, as is Cougar with the Unbreakable. We're sitting a while on this one. It's going to go just cancel it out. And now the Super Creep's pushing up towards the base of the buff is up the map. So CJ going to be fighting on 2 fronts, and Kongdoo are still very healthy, still have those Guardian Angels. Guy sitting in the front. Not going for a taunt yet, going to get locked up, taken down below half HP. He's getting burned out by Soul on the Zimmer. Edge spreads with the Glacial Path, not going to follow it through yet. Just letting the minions chip away at this tower as they work it down to about half HP. And wait for the wave to crash in bottom.
Very patient game. Baron's still going to be up for a little bit longer.
It's about to expire. Punch going forward, so has the GA available. The turret's going to get broken. Now Kongdoo, they can run rampant inside the base. Explosive cast used, going to knock forward here. That life gets in the Devour on the Kramer, trying to keep him alive. The Deadly Flourish not going to connect onto anybody. Frozen Tomb down on the edge, just locking up the members of CJ. PDD goes low. He's going to go down. That's a double kill coming in for Sol. A third kill now picked up by Gugar. A triple kill coming in for the Sivir as they finish off Kramer. Shy, the only one left alive, but Kongdoo Monster, they've finally done it. They've shattered the base. They're going to shatter the Nexus. They will close out game 1 over CJ Entus in 68.5 minutes.
Wow, that was CJ's game to lose. Huge early game advantage for them. They didn't capitalize on it whatsoever. They gave up. They misplayed at the Barons. And Kongdoo simply had a higher damage late game composition, and they had the Trundle to deal with the Shen. So, not much there to like from CJ. I don't know, man. Kongdoo, persistent. It did take them 2 Elder Dragons and 3 Barons to finish that game, but they clawed their way back into it.
And I guess that's just going to be the basis for how the games go today. Already saw it in the first set. Seeing it again now with CJ and Kongdoo. And CJ got to be feeling pretty down about that one. Had so much control for so long in that match. And then they let it slip through their fingers in the end. Haru having an awful time with these fights.
Well, yeah, but he did have a really strong early game, and he's one of the main reasons why CJ got so far ahead, but they misplayed as a team around the Barons. There was nobody there checking punch. The Weavers, while they were committing in really weird ways. And look at that damage, 91,000 for Sol.
Absolutely ridiculous. Kramer coming in, looking pretty good, but the comparison of Sol to the rest of his team is just absolutely massive. But that's what happens when you have a Sivir late game sitting out for that long and that long of a game. We're going to go to a break here, guys. When we come back, we'll have game 2 and see if Kongdoo can close out clean over top of CJ, or if they're going to have a chance to fight back and take us to a third game in this set, because there's still that losers match coming up after this best of 3 that has to be played. So we'll go to a break, and when we come back, we'll have game 2.